we're all just sitting there talking, and the next minute, boom. I thought, and certainly Monis thought, this is it, the police are coming. Monis grabs me and on the shoulder and pulls me out of my chair. He's got me in front of him, he's got his gun. And, you know, I'm thinking that the police are coming in the door, and I'm thinking, definitely, I'm dead now. And so it was all happening, it's all loud, everyone's screaming, it's all go. And then Jared, calm, calls out, no, the police aren't coming, they've escaped. And then Monis calms, he says, they escaped, everyone sit back down. And he also mumbled under his breath at that time, I should have killed that old man, he was a bother to me.
3 people have escaped the cafe. It's all over the TV and radio.
It would appear at this stage as if as many as 3 hostages have been released from the Lindt Cafe.
Those 3 people were John, Stefan, and a few minutes after, Paolo, who left out a fire escape onto Phillip Street. Did you think you were going to die at that point?
Oh yes, I had that regular moment of, this is it, I'm going to die. And yeah, for me, speaking personally, throughout the day, I was in 3 different states of mind. So deep in my spirit, in my gut, I had that sense of peace. So, you know, some people might be familiar that the peace of God surpasses all understanding, that whatever happened that day, whether I lived or I died, it was okay. Emotionally, I was all over the place, like anxious about my mother, watching out what was happening, blah, blah, you know, everything, you know, all up and down, la, la, la. But then intellectually, in my head, I was absolutely convinced that we were going to die because logically there didn't seem a way out.
Louisa ventured back into the cafe with me for a coffee on one of our interview sessions. The audio's difficult to hear as we didn't want to scare people with large microphones and cameras, and I also didn't want to draw attention to Louisa. So we're about to walk in the front door here, and this is the way you and your mum come in?
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing's changed here?
No.
No?
Well, a few little aesthetic things have changed.
Yeah.
But apart from that, nothing really.
Okay. We're sitting at table 3 and 4, and where's this in relation to where you were when you were sitting with your mum?
Absolutely, virtually the same position.
It's pretty busy. There's over 20 people in here at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
What happened to you on that day could happen to any of us.
That's right. It definitely could, and that's our reality. You know, we imagine that we have some sort of control over our lives, but it's our collective delusion, and, you know, definitely anything can happen and you don't know, and you would never imagine a terrorist attack in Sydney. But, you know, that's the truth of it, isn't it? You don't know your life.
What kind of man do you think Monis was?
Was one of these duplicitous, double-minded people, the kind of man who you might see bash his wife with one hand and then at the same time tell her he loves her. You know, what is that? And that's what Monis was like. This man who was equally willing to show politeness, kindness, consideration to us, but at the same time willing to murder us. So the monster tag or the crazy tag is certainly not who he was or how he behaved in the cafe. Actually, interestingly to me in hindsight, both Mum and I, when we were asked by the police giving our statements, what was he like? And both of us said, he was ordinary. And, you know, this is the thing. We don't see this evil behaviour in ordinary people, but actually it's there, just hidden in plain sight.
There is some phraseology in criminology, which is you're either bad or mad.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you think he was?
Bad. Inherently bad. He obviously had all sorts of advantage in his life, actually. He was an educated man. He was across a whole lot of religious and spiritual understanding. He obviously was in his own country and in his own time probably brought up quite well because he was well-mannered. But he had obviously surrendered to a core deception.
He was evil.
Yes, evil in his intent, if not in his appearance.
You can listen to this podcast episode in full on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and press the bell icon to keep up to date with everything from Podshape.